white? Why are they 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 white? Why? Why are they white? Why are they white? Why are they white? Why?
Pets must remain leashed. Oh, pardon me.
No, well,
So if you're coming here with your significant others, you have to put them on a leash. It's very important. All right? Shakanaga. 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 Come join me. Come join me on this hike. Welcome to the mysterious and smoky Blue Ridge Mountains. Today we are at Table Rock State Park, South Carolina's most iconic and natural landmark. A place where geology, legend, and adventure all meet. This park spans over 3,000 acres, and its central feature is the Granite Dome, whose flat table-like summit has guided travelers for centuries. Looks like we've got Stool Mountain Trail. So at least you know where to use the restroom if you need to. Probably around that trail. A place where stools can rest. So Table Rock Mountain is in Pickens County, South Carolina, and it is roughly a 4.5 hour hike. And it's going to be continuously steep inclines, such as this, for 4 hours. So in March of 2025, a certain percentage of the forest here burnt down, and it was a fire that was started by someone. So it wasn't a natural fire, it was probably some kid playing with ashes or a lighter or a cigarette or something. And as you can see, we've got ashy tree trunks. So there was a major fire here recently, but it's recovered since then. And that ash that is used in the fires and in the trees actually supplies the ground with plenty of nitrogen. So forest fires are actually a good thing, not a bad thing. They're actually natural. But this one wasn't done naturally, so that's a different story. But yeah, nitrogen from the burnt trees actually adds a lot of nutrients to the ground. This is leftover trees that were felled down by the high winds during Hurricane Helene, and that were also burnt during the fires last year. Very, very powerful hurricane winds that swept inland into the upstate of the Carolinas. As you can see over here as well, huge root systems. A beech or birch trees, definitely deciduous trees. And over here we have ancient primordial rock that is part of some of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. The second oldest mountain range of the world. This is... There we go. Didn't mean to spit on you. Sometimes when I blow air to the lens, spit gets on the lens and it's almost like I'm spitting at you. But yeah, I didn't mean to spit in your face. I promise. So I just crossed the trail and I came upon a gentleman, and he said he was cruising and it took him an hour and a half to get through this 4-hour trail, but I think he was moving pretty fast. But since I'm taking you all with me on this vlog adventure, it's probably going to take me a little longer than 1.5 hours to hike this trail. And as you can hear, I'm already out of breath. All right, let's keep going. Here we have some more burnt down trees from this year's previous fires. And felled trees from Hurricane Helene and the aggressive winds. I have a story. I was driving someone around and they were a helicopter pilot, and during Hurricane Helene they had to pick up large cargo shipping containers full of body bags, and the fatality count was actually underreported. And so this helicopter pilot was picking up at one point about 1,000 bodies from people who were devastated, fatally devastated by Hurricane Helene, people that lived near water. And of course, during the hurricane, waters would rise from all the rain. And that was it. Curtains, as they say. So when the media reports a certain amount of people gone missing, always remember, it's heavily underreported. So actually, the devastation of Helene was a lot more than big legacy media ever reported. And yeah, that is according to someone with the experience of being a helicopter pilot, an emergency helicopter pilot. Maybe you work for the special forces, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably some relief work. But yeah, imagine that. Picking up a cargo container full of bodies during a hurricane, flying in on a helicopter, and not even realizing what you're actually lifting out in the helicopter. Crazy story. Crazy things you hear. When you drive, Lyft, and Uber, it's amazing the stories you hear from people and their real life experiences. Anyways, thought that might be encouraging for you guys today. Just good, solid information on real life things that have happened and that continue to happen. Okay, let's keep hiking. You can already see the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the back. And of course, malachite rich old granite rock. Gosh darn, I feel like a Native American. I truly do. This is amazing. Walking on land that used to be inhabited by, in German they would call it Dinosauria, dinosaurs, large feathered bird animals, saber-toothed tigers, and the Cherokee. This was their land. Almost reminds me of that Woody Guthrie song. This land is your land, this land is my land, this land is blah, 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 blah. very ancient, well, not ancient, but it's an older, I keep using that word, ancient. It's a song from the 20s and 30s. It's kind of more of a collectivist, communist song, showing idealistically how the lands are ours and yours. But it's so interesting because he was considered progressive at the time. But now, if you look at the lyrics, those lyrics might even get canceled. Because now we like to think that land just belongs to the mammoths and to the Cherokee and to the ancient. There's ancient again. The old saber-toothed tiger. But really, the old Woody Guthrie song still rings true. This land is your land. This land is my land. This land is our land. Don't listen to what they say. Listen to Woody Guthrie. Don't listen to the blue hairs. Listen to good old Woody Guthrie. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. For you and me. God, I love annoying fellow hikers. It's one of my favorite pastimes and present times. All right. We're getting closer to the summit. All right, let's keep moving. More crispy, crispy, crispy trees. Crispy trees from the previous fire. There was a fire. It wasn't my desire to have a freaking fire. Yeah. Some juvenile delinquent was playing with matches. Or maybe he was under the influence on something. Who knows what it was? PCP? Kicking around ashes, and sure enough, it sparked a huge fire. And many acreages burnt down in Table Rock. Table Rock Mountain, South Carolina. I love being on a trail, hiking trail, and seeing the various foot patterns and foot stamps, foot markings, and footprints of all the different brands and soles, the bottoms of the feet, and all the different sizes and patterns, showing you how well traipsed these paths are, and also a reminder that, you're not alone if you're hiking. There's people around. But I always like seeing different footprints in the sand or the dirt. It has historical significance. It truly does. A human touch, a human foot touch for the feet people. For all the feet people out there, gotta love footprints. It means a lot. And not just for somebody like, who's the guy that directed Pulp Fiction? Quentin Tarantino. Not just for people like him. In general, just being able to detect patterns is so important. So there's people who can identify how old a trail is by looking at a footprint, whether it's a deer print, a wolf print paw, or a rabbit print. Pretty amazing. Pretty unique. I don't have that skill. I just have the gift of gab, the skill of yapping. All right, let's keep moving. Honestly, sometimes I may even doubt that I have the gift or skill of gab, but you know what? In life, we all eventually kind of do doubt ourselves. And it's important to just realize that that's what you're doing in the moment. You're doubting yourself. And, it's normal, perfectly normal. But it comes and goes, and you just have to be able to see it and identify it and realize what it is. And then to keep moving on forward. Just like you're hiking up a path in life, like you're hiking, you see the doubt, you go, okay, there's the doubt, and then realize it's temporary, and it'll crop up, and with some people it crops up more, pops up, and then it disappears, and you keep moving up the trail. So yeah, there's a lot of times where I will doubt my abilities, and it's perfectly normal. You're not alone. All right, my encouraging words for the day. Hope this helps. Hope this helps. I know it helps me, so. All right, let's keep moving up the trail here. As this incline happens, gradually as you increase elevation, it goes from woodlands and grassy knoll areas and kind of more rocks that have like lichen on them and more of a soft earthed area, soft earthed. And then what it does is it as you increase elevation, it becomes more rockier and stonier and more primordial. You have larger rocks that emerge out of the mountain. Just like this one here. This is something that Obelix would be carrying. Oh, a little chipmunk. Oh, cute. Obelix would be carrying this on his back from Asterix and Obelix, one of these rocks here. But if you look on the horizon, I'll try to focus in on the horizon here. Well, first of all, you see a rounded, kind of flat, rounded slopes here. Very old rocks. And they look very similar to the rocks and the slopes in Barberton, South Africa. Except for the climate is more green here. It's more humid, has more moisture here. But the other feature that's interesting is that if you look, there's a haze on the horizon where the mountains and the sky meet. And now what that is a green and almost blue haze that you can see. And now that blue and green it's a unique feature to the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's called the Blue Ridge Mountains for a reason, because if you look at that area where the sky and the hills meet, you can actually, if you look careful enough, you can see a layer of blue, greenish blue. There we got some floating dogwood. Right now it's dogwood season, so the dogwood trees are blooming. You do not want to get bitten by one of these ants. No siree. Owie, owie, owie. Owie, 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 owie. Ow, ow. Big fire ant. Big mountainous Blue Ridge Mountain fire ant. Floating dogwood. Dogwood tree in the early spring. Check it out. It's very Korean and Asian. Dogwoods are special. I don't know why I'm whispering. We're not in church. We're not in the library. Dogwood trees. Early spring capture. Whoo! This hike. Look at this. More rock. We got more rock. I'm not sure if this is true or not. I don't know. But I'm going to take a guess. Let's guess azalea blossom. But I don't think it is. But I just need to sound smart for the camera. This could be a mimosa. I think I want to tree identify that. We'll find out later. I don't think it is azaleas, because azaleas, they grow as a flower in a lower elevation, so could be an early spring mimosa, but Oranari. We'll find out. Now, for all you juvenile viewers, I know that table rock rhymes with table, but I kind of want to move on from that because, first of all, we'll see if YouTube lets me bust out that kind of juvenile humor, even though it is funny, because I enjoy words that rhyme. Rock rhymes with, what is this? Malachite. Anyways, but look at this view. We'll keep walking up this trail, and we'll keep walking beyond and past the 7th grade humor of table. Spock rhymes with rock. See? I know what you were thinking. You were thinking a different word, but I can read minds. Rock rhymes with Spock. What is it that Spock says? Live long and prosper. If you want to learn more about the creator of Star Trek, I highly recommend the Danny Jones podcast. The interview features comedian Kurt Metzger, where they find a video on the internet, not sure if it's on YouTube or wherever it might be, Vimeo, who knows where, of an interview. Let's just say it's very Epsteinian, and it's very telling, and very, very, very dark. So if you want to learn more about Star Trek, I recommend getting into the mind of the creator and listening to some of his interviews because, well, put it this way, you will be very shocked. It's just very telling of pretty much Hollywood and what goes on there, and pretty much another check mark on the credibility of Hollywood, and it really makes you not want to watch anything produced out of that area, which thank God for the internet. Now we're free from it, so now we can actually be exposed to ideas that are more empowering, more truthful, more uplifting, and that cut through all the charades, all the darkness, and all the lies. Basically, it's another really strong argument and reason not to consume prefabricated media or any media coming from large conglomerates or institutions or media outlets or huge structures like Hollywood. It is a powerful argument I make that if you want to have a clear mind and stay smart and informed and enlightened and truly wise, is to steer clear of those media outlets and consume independently made media. Enjoy that rabbit hole I just sent you down on. Let me know if you ever watch it. Let me know in the comments below if you see this. You will be shocked. I promise you. All right. Let's continue on this trail here. I think we're 3/4 of the way up, so we're almost up. Let's keep going. Looks like we're only about 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes away from traipsing on top of a rock. So we're going from being submersed and walking on top of a soft land mass and dirt and grass to actually walking on a huge submerged round rock that is protruding from the earth. And the geologists call it something else, which we could actually, I can actually let you know what that's called right here. But it's basically a huge rock that protrudes out of the earth. See? Take a look. That is what it looks like. That is what it is. And these can be found all over the world. But they're more frequent in certain areas, obviously, than others. One being here, the other one being in Barberton, South Africa. I think there's a few in Georgia, and I'm sure there's other ones strewn about this great big world. There it is. One huge granite slab coming out of the earth. This is Table Rock, South Carolina. As you can see, we're going from the border of the woods to a rocky landscape. This massive formation stands alone, choked by the surrounding green forests. The primordial rock is millions of years old, and this mountain range is the second oldest mountain range in the world, only second to Barberton, South Africa. South Africa. Are you Afrikaner? Do you speak a South African? You speak Afrikaans? Shaka Naga is what the Cherokee Indians would chant. Shaka Naga. 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 This means the great blue hills of God. According to legend, the flat summit of Table Rock was used as a divine table where the Great Spirit would dine. That sense of sacredness still lingers today. As you stand on the Overlook, staring out across the mountains and forests. This place is not just a hike. It's a magical journey on top of the surface of an ancient geological wonder. We have a soft little plant-like plant that is living off of this rock. One could easily just sit and rest on it. It gives you a soft spot for your butt bone to rest when you are sitting upon this rock. Wonderful. How nature supplies us with cushions and seat rests. Way before cushions were made, nature made pillows for us. Look at that. We got a military helicopter taking off. Or it could be a Ranger, could be a rescue helicopter as well. The rock is submerging out of the earth. It's protruding. And these little rocks here are just mere little chips off the big main rock. Here we are, almost at the top. This park is a piece of American history. It was built during the Great Depression by the Civilian Conservation Corps. This area is a masterpiece of handcrafted stonework. In fact, little stone steps, as mentioned earlier, were carved out of this large rock, allowing hikers to actually traipse and walk over the rock. It features trails, cabins, constructed lakes, and a lodge that is still standing today. These man-made structures are still in use, making the park not just a natural escape, but a preserved time capsule that takes you all the way back to the 30s. Remember, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you can only go right with malachite. Go right with malachite. Looks like we made it to the summit. Table Rock Mountain Summit. KS loves AM. We made it. Who knows who those people are, but it's their letters of their name. 35 degrees north, 082 degrees west, 03-02 north, 42-13 west. Those are the coordinates. A lot of initials are carved in here. Table Rock. Let's go around and check it out. These reeds here make excellent hollow body arrows. They're extremely aerodynamic, and as you can see in the inside, they have foam in them. The hollow point arrows. Used to make these with when I was a kid with my neighbor, Jake Neubacher. Jake, you remember these. Very, very cool. These hollow point arrow types that are made out of reeds. We used to shoot these. We would put nails in the tops of them and make homemade bows and arrows, but really, really tightly wound arrows. A lot of tension on the string. And we would shoot them into the woods. But unfortunately, next to the woods was a Autobahn. It was a very busy, I think it's called the A23. A23, I think. Or maybe it's the A15 or 16, which is 15 or 16. Either way. Südostangente it's called. We would sometimes fire those arrows through the woods, and they would end up going on to the Autobahn, which really is quite dangerous. But when you're a kid, you don't realize kind of the dangerous things you're doing. And of course, all is well and forgiven, but gosh, when you're a teenager and you figure out how to make hollow point, fast-moving, extremely fast-moving arrows through reeds, it is one of the funnest things you could ever do. Shooting bows and arrows, quite amazing. But it's a good memory growing up when I was a teenager. And I'm sure we never hit a truck driver or got it into a window of a truck or took out a tire. But my point being is that these reeds, hollow point is just as good as it gets. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, for backpackers like myself, this place is absolutely legendary. This trail we are currently on leads to a larger 70-mile route, which stretches out across the Blue Ridge Range. So there's plenty of room for all who come and seek the mystery that is Table Rock. It's the mystery of Table Rock. Man, woman, dog, or child, all are welcome on this rock. The top summit, which I just passed, is 3,124 feet. Right over here. This is how many meters it is for the people that like conversions. The climb is steep. A steep climb being an analogy for my life. There is true peace here. Here you can find cascading waterfalls and also the legendary white pine. Now, if you'll remember from previous videos.
Oh no, why does it have to be white? Why? Oh no, the white pine!
The white pine is here as well. You can't get rid of it. It's almost everywhere. Well, at least in this region. Anyways, you'll remember that white pine, that pesky, mischievous white pine from previous videos. Just can't get rid of it. Ah, the white pine. Ooh, speaking of beautiful, look at these. These look like daisies. Daisy. Look at that daisy. Look how beautiful. Look at that. And you can see bumblebees and honeybees going around these daisies and pollinating them. Woohoo! Daisy flying in the wind. Who said daisies couldn't fly? You gotta pick them and throw them. Then the daisy will fly. Now, a very deep philosophical question is, should flowers be picked? Under what circumstances? Oh, I need to tie my shoe. These notorious white pines stand tall, fair, and naturally proud as an homage to the settlers who came from Europe, with their pale, melanined flesh. Now I ask myself, what in the world was God thinking when he made these white pines? As he looked down from the heaven with his white robe, his white eyebrows, his white teeth, and his white beard, what was he thinking? Only the gods know. coconut water. Coconut water made in Vietnam. So good. So needed on a hike. All right, take a look. You can see a blue outline along the horizon. It looks smoky and hazy, and that's why it's named the Blue Ridge Mountains, because that's what it looks like. Hazy. Ooh, more flower identification time. Looks like some purple mountain flowers. I'll list the name below for you so we can identify them and know what they are. So whether you come here for the history, the legendary white pines, the hiking challenge, or just the views, something's rustling in the grass. Looks like a bird. Bird is rustling in the grass. A mountain jay of some sort. Maybe a mountain jay or a mountain magpie. This place delivers a deeper and harder punch than your typical hiking destination. It's a mystical place shaped by old geological forces, enriched by indigenous culture, and preserved through one of America's most ambitious conservation efforts. And when you finally reach the top and look out over the vast landscape, you realize this isn't just a hike, it's an adventure. Here we have another derooted tree from Hurricane Helene and the strong winds. This looks like this could possibly be a white pine. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but look, this is the inside of the root system, the bottom of the root system. And these are the roots, and they draw nutrients out of the earth to feed the tree. These powerful roots draw water, liquid, up into the trees. And of course, they take in a lot of nutrition as well. And also nitrogen. Nitrogen from trees, from previously dead trees that burnt down. Probably about 2,000 feet. Or actually maybe even a 3,000 foot drop right there. And if we look over here, we're going to focus in on a waterfall in the distance. My hands are shaking because I'm so close to the edge. Very scary. It's scary when you get to the edge, your legs begin to shake. And you get a little bit scared. Oh. Whew. Yeah, you get shaky. You get shaky when you're close to the edge. That's a far drop. That is I was only held up by basically one large rock. Midnight come and I want to go. Ooh, look at this bird. Hello, birdie. Hello, bird. Back to that story about me and my friend, my neighborhood friend, Jake, shooting arrows. Actually, we not only did we shoot arrows into the woods, we shot bows and arrows at each other's faces, and they were pretty much, like hollow point, and with nails embedded in them. And we also shot them at our bikes. So one person would ride by with their bike, going as fast as they can, and the other person would proceed to shoot the arrow at the spokes with the attempt of being able to capsize or be able to take down the the bike and get it. If you get the arrow on the spoke, you can actually have the bike pop off and you can have it de-accelerate pretty quickly when you shoot the arrow into the spokes. It causes the bike to stop abruptly. Anyways, and we would pretend, I remember pretending that the bicycle was prey, like a buffalo on the prairie, or like a water buffalo, or a bison, and I was a native, and I was a hunter-gatherer, and I was out hunting on the plains of the Serengeti in Africa, hunting for a buffalo. And the bike was a buffalo. And I remember that. I remember thinking back now, thinking of 12-year-old me shooting bows and arrows at each other, full force, at each other's faces, bodies, and into the spokes of bikes. And if that wasn't able to get the bike to stop abruptly, we would also take sticks from the woods, and we would pretend that they were spears, and we would throw the spears into the spokes of the bike while the person rode by, full blast. So while the person is riding the bike by as fast as they can, we would throw and see if we could eliminate the target and get the person to fly off the bike, essentially. So that's what we did in the early to mid 90s as teenagers and as boys. As boys will do. Boys will play. Anyways, that's a continuous story. A continual story that continues from the whole idea of how a reed can be fashioned into an arrow. And we're back to the floating dogwood. Here it is. There's the dogwood. Now in the afternoon sun, it has a different appearance. It's starting to have different shades to it. And it's also, there's more wind now, so the dogwood looks like it's moving, floating in the air, as my mom would say. Remember, your life in this world is nothing short from a miracle. It really is. It is extremely sacred. Life is precious. And it's honestly, when I was on top of the mountain, I thought to myself, every place I've been to is amazing. It's beautiful. It really is. You just have to find the beauty in it. And then it becomes apparent. So really, you could go anywhere and look around, and you'll notice, if you take a deeper look, you'll see how beautiful the world is and how beautiful life is. Being alive every day is a constant reminder of how sacred and amazing existence is. Your existence and mine. Old Rock, from the second oldest mountain range in the world. Even a little bit of fur growing on it, a little bit of lichen. That's when you can tell it's an old rock. When you've got some dust on you guys, you gotta blow it off. Anyways, you can tell when that's how old it is. It's calcified. It has so many different layers of color on it and vegetation growing on it. Yeah, I love that look of a dry riverbed. Dry riverbed along a savanna somewhere in Africa. You see a topographical view shot of a drought-infested riverbed, and it's just completely cracked, like cracked skin. It has these organic lines through them. Love that. Now remember who the enemy of freedom is. Individuals who utter the words, "You can't say that!" Oh yeah, I cannot wait to soak my pigs in this water. My piggly pigs have been hiking for many hours now, and one of the best things you can do after a hike is soak your feet in Epsom salts in the bathtub, or if you have access to some of the best fresh water in North America, well, you could do it here as well. And that's what I'm about to do. And it's going to feel good because my puppies are barking and my pigs are squealing. My shoe piggies are squealing. I'm gonna soak those puppies. I'm gonna baptize those puppies because they are squealing like pigs. Oh, I'm gonna soak my pigs. I'm gonna soak my pigs. I'm gonna soak my pigs. I'm gonna soak my pigs in the mountain stream. I'm gonna soak my pigs in the mountain stream. Mountain stream. Not too bad. Pretty spry. I'm a spry 41-year-old. I'm a spry. Daddy's a spry 41-year-old. Daddy's a spry. Running from a Sasquatch. Running away from a Sasquatch. I'm running away from the abominable Sasquatch. Because I gotta go soak my pigs. I gotta soak my pigs in the water. I gotta soak my pigs in the water. Quickly. I gotta soak my puppies in the water. Quickly. Before the Sasquatch gets me. Before I'm a spry 41-year-old. Oh, I am a spry 41-year-old. I just ran down half that mountain to soak my pigs in a mountain stream. Oh, gonna dip my pigs in the gosh darn water tonight. Oh yeah. I'm gonna dip my pigs in the water. I'm gonna dip my pigs in the water tonight. I'm gonna dip my pigs in the stream tonight. Oh yeah. Watch me now, baby. Watch me dip my pigs in the water tonight. I'm gonna dip 'em in the spring. I'm gonna dip my pigs in the spring. I'm gonna wiggle them around. I'm gonna dip my pigs in the spring. I'm gonna wiggle them around and go a giggle, giggle, giggle. Living in his little moist cave hole. Moist cave hole for the salamander. Here is the salamander. Check him out. See? I'm gonna soak my pigs in the stew. The pigs need a soaking, that's what they do. I'm gonna soak my pigs in the stew. Let's all soak our pigs in the stew. Here it is. I'm gonna soak my pigs in the water. The water. Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. We're gonna soak our pigs in the water. Yes, sir, we are. Oh, it's gonna be cold. Whew. Okay. Oh, that's not that bad, actually. It's like 50 degrees, maybe. Alright. Pigs are soaked. To retrieve my shoes. Ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right. Got my shoes. Let's get out of here. All right, shoes are back on. We're ready to go. Let's get out of here. Kids in Parks, Track and Trail. Welcome to Table Rock State Park Track Trail. Hi, I'm Track. I'm Kip. We'll be your guides for this adventurous trip. Oh, that rhymes. Grab a brochure. It's time to play. Let's see what we can find outside today. Isn't that cute? Here we have a palmetto. It's a state tree, and it's on the Wappe. Now, Wappe in German means the state insignia. So that's the palmetto. Okay, Track and Kip. Thanks for the help and the advice, and for keeping everybody safe. I kind of miss Smokey the Bear, really. But I think they removed him because of his name. I don't know. Or maybe because a pyromaniac tried to burn down the park last year. I don't know. Who knows? Become an ultimate outsider. I think he looks underprepared as far as all his gear is concerned. But I think if you come to a party like that to play, you're definitely going to be the ultimate outsider. So he definitely became the ultimate outsider. I mean, he's true to the marketing. That is called overpacking, if I ever saw any. But who knows? Maybe he's going on a really, really long hike for months and months. Maybe he's doing the Appalachian Trail. Maybe he's going hiking for 6 months. Who knows? But nevertheless, he's the ultimate outsider. Have you seen me? Eastern spotted skunk and a striped skunk. Thank God I haven't seen you. Oof, that would be terrible. They spray right out of their crevasse, right out of their gland. And it shoots very far, and it's very pungent. Oh, back to the ultimate outsider. He brought way too much gear. He's overprepared, and that's annoying. That's what annoys me about this type of marketing. You know what? After I did my 4 or 5 hour hike today, I forgot to register. Apparently, all hikers must register. See? It says, please complete a hiker registration card for you and your group. Wow, I just broke the law. I didn't register. This is terrible. What am I going to do? Oh, I know what I can do. We have a stamp here, and this stamp shows that you actually registered and were hiking. So what we do is we take the stamp like this. Stamp? Here we go. And I just give myself a stamp right there. And so, let's see. Did it go anywhere? I don't think it did. Never mind. That stamp didn't work. I feel terrible. I feel absolutely guilty and just guilt-ridden for not registering. I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be just fine. All is well. Okay. Why won't this stamp work? This is the ultimate outsider stamp, and it's not working. Come on. Is it working? Do you see anything? Nothing. It's not working at all. How is this stamp considered the ultimate if it doesn't even work? All right, Table Rock State Park, on your stamp outside here by your registration kiosk, you gotta add a little ink to your stamp so I can stamp my forehead out. Otherwise, I'll never be able to leave the park. In German, they would say Schande. They would say shame, shame. They go like this. Schande. Schande. Shame, shame. All right. Let's keep moving. Thanks for joining me today on this hike. This wonderful, wonderful hike. I hope you found something new and unique here on this hiking quest today. Remember, life is a long hike with its ups and downs and its windy pathways. It's very rarely just a straight, easy path, and that's totally okay. Just go with the flow and you'll get to where you need to go. That rhymes. Just go with the flow and you will get to where you need to go. The universe always has a way. It always finds a way of guiding us. We just have to trust it. I'll see you next time. Same channel, different place. Peace out from the land of the white pines.
Why are they white? 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 Why? 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 Why?